Hello guys, it's me, Quest for Anime here, and today I want to make a video about ReZero. Now, once uh, once I get a grasp on what I want to do in this channel, I'll explain it, but at the current moment, I just want to make anime videos. I have no idea what type of anime videos I want to make, but I just want to make them. I will get into manga content soon, because that's fun too. But yeah, I want to talk about something when it comes to ReZero. Now, many of you guys may not know this, but some of you may. But many of you guys, I don't think, know this. Now, ReZero has a side story. If you guys didn't know, it's called the ReZero If stories. Now, the ReZero If story is kind of like an annual thing. It doesn't. It's like how to say it. It happens like annually, right? It's not something that what's called the creator makes every what's called like monthly or weekly. It's a yearly thing for the most part. Now, what are the ReZero If stories? Well, there are a bunch of what if stories that release on Subra's birthday, which is in April 1st. Now, you may get pranked in April Fools. You may get what's called deceived and maybe disappointed on some news that you thought was true. One thing you will not get disappointed is the ReZero If stories, because they, for the most part, are yearly. Now, what are they, you may ask? Well, the ReZero If stories are basically situations that, in the original ReZero world, and like, what if he chose this over that? Like, for example, so there is a what if lust, what if greed, what if wrath. Well, they're not the names of it, but that's what we call it. That's what the community call it. The ReZero If story: wrath, greed, pride, sloth. I've never seen gluttony or envy. I've heard of lust. Now, I would suggest not watching some of these if you guys are anime onlys, but there is some that as of now you can watch it fully without getting spoiled of anything that has to do with the ReZero content. Because if you watch the what if stories, they have like no relevance to the original, but they have some interesting information that or characters that you've seen before or we haven't seen before. Now, let's talk about one. Let's talk about some of them. So, I'll use these as an example. The first one I can say is the What If Pride story. The What If Pride one is a story about Subra. Is a story about the What If Pride. Like, we're going to talk about Pride first. Some of these you can watch, some of them you can't. But like, you can watch the beginning of Pride. So, let's get into it. So, the Pride one is basically, I think, the first 3 episodes, and like, what if he chose pride over humility? Because if you didn't know, there was a moment in ReZero, the season 1, where Subra had to make a choice whether he's gonna swallow up his pride and ask for help when Elsa was attacking the what's it called, the loot house, or is he going to be prideful and and try to fix the situation by his own? In this one, he chose pride and died a metric crap ton, can I tell you? I think he died like 100 times in that one loop or so. I don't know all the details. I watched enough to get a good sense of it. And during this time, he after like the 100th and so death, he swallowed up his pride and asked Reinhardt for help. And after that happened, he kind of got really angry in a sense, right? That that was called Reinhardt was able to beat Elsa so easily while he had to try so hard. Now, I don't know the complete details because I was told that like most of this is like season 5. It's called arc 5 and arc 6 spoilers. Which, if you don't know, season 2 is arc 4 and season 1 is arc 1, 2, and 3. So I heard some of these are arc 5 and 6 spoilers, so I didn't go into depth into it. But what I've heard is that in this one, because like Echidna lived that day, and we all know it because we've seen season 2, he works with Echidna, and he befriends Echidna, in a sense, and he becomes the Archbishop of Pride in this in this arc. I don't know the full details, but all I know is it's called, helps Amelia in the shadows. That's what I know of the What If Pride. Now let's go to What If Greed. Okay, this is Greed Subaru, as we like to call it. How do I say it? The Pride one, you really can't read the whole thing because it spoils the archbishops of all the witch factors. So suggest don't read that yet because you don't know the archbishop of lust or what's it called. I don't know. Is it just lust? No, lust or wrath. So I don't really suggest reading that yet. But yeah, this is the What If Raph of Greed, Subra. This is basically something you can completely read, any of you guys. It's basically a Subra who, if you remember in Arc, what's it called? Arc 2, Echidna was trying to make a contract with Subra, and Subra denied it, right? This is a what if Subra actually accepted, and you see kind of like a side of Subra where Subra, what's it called, is kind of accepting death. Like he's killing for the sake of a perfect route, which is you're seeing it kind of seeing in this one that he's losing his humanity and stuff like that. I don't know the full details because I watched a summary of these things, but just imagine a Supra who has like very little emotions and doesn't really disregards his life for the sake of others. So I remember hearing or watching, to be more precise, that there was a situation where Petro was wondering if it's going to be a sunny day, and he was like, and then like during the story, he decided to kill himself just to figure out if it's a sunny day. This Supra doesn't have a shred of it's called care about his life, but there is some more to it. But I don't really know the complete story. But I'm just talking about it because I want to show you how interesting it is. Next, let's go talk about, let's see. Let's see. Now, the Sloth If story is the next one we're going to talk about. I completely forgot this was Sloth. Now, this one is kind of the more let's call it, better Subra out of them all. This is the Subra who in episode 18 of season 1, in Rem's confession, this is the one who got accepted by Rem. And Rem and Subra kind of ran away to the place that they mentioned, and they started a family. Ram is dead, probably. Ram is dead. Amelia's dead. Everyone's dead, basically, in that mansion because he didn't. He kind of what's called ran away with Rem. And as you all know, the witch is called kind of everyone in that arc in arc 3. Now, in this one, he has Rem and it's Rem and Subra, and he has a daughter and son. And yeah, and this one, it's just a wholesome, what's it called? In a sense, a wholesome light novel of their life. Now, out of all of them, this one has the most what's called content. This got so popular that the creator decided to make a whole light novel out of it, which everything else is in a web novel. You gotta search that up in a web novel. And web novels are free. I don't know where you can find them. I personally don't know. But I can show you after this a place where you can find it. Where you can watch these videos. But yeah. So, you're just seeing their life and stuff like that. Again, I don't read all of it. I just see a summary of it a bit. And yeah. So I'd say out of all of them, Sloth is the best. Now the Lust If story. Now this one was actually meant to be an April Fool's joke. This was before all other If stories. This was not even. So this happens before all other If stories. This is not supposed to be considered the Lust If story. It's just considered that because this was kind of like the birth of the If stories. So this was exactly when he wanted to make an April Fool's joke for everybody. So he made this one, which is basically Subra got a harem. If I'm correct, it was in his harem it was Ram, all the royal candidates, including Felt, yeah, and then Petra. Yeah, so he's like the official king of Lagunia. He's the husband of all the all the candidates. It's kind of like a quirky story, but it was not meant to be taken seriously because he made it as a joke. He didn't make it he didn't, wasn't trying to make it a reality. But yeah, next one. Now, Rapha Subra. This is the Subra who decided to and okay. So remember the moment where Subra jumped off the cliff, right? And killed himself on the spikes. This is a Subaru who decided not to do that and was kind of like, in a sense, cowering in fear, in a sense. So, this Subaru, he became, in a sense, a mafia boss, if you will. And these two are his goons. You really won't know who these guys are because they're not even introduced in what's called ReZero, the web novel or light novel. I don't think so. Especially, I think the animal one or this one. Either way, I think one or all of them are not introduced yet. But either way, you won't really get a grasp on who they are yet, so you're pretty much good to watch it. Now, this one's like more like a cold Subaru. He's a Subaru who, what you call it? Yeah, this one's a hard one to talk about because out of all of them, I don't remember this the most. But yeah, in this sense, he's a mafia boss. He kind of lost his. Yeah, I don't know how to explain this one. This one's an interesting one. I really suggest watching it, guys. Now, so yeah, hold up. So yeah, I'm guessing this one's the original. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, so these are all the Subras. I seriously didn't watch all of them, so beats me which Subra this one is. The one in the white hair. I can tell you that's Rapha Subra, that's Pride Subra. Which Subra is that beats me. I don't know which Subra this is. And this is what's called Sloth Subra. But yeah, these are really good to watch. I think they made one this April, but it's not a if story. It's what's called. It's another side story, which is interesting. I never watched it or seen it, so beats me what it is. But yeah, before I go, I'm gonna show you how to watch the if stories or summaries of it. So you have this guy called rhys, Ikadon, Ikadona. He's kind of like a Ikadona and what's the name? Regulus fan, if I remember correctly. He did stories on. He did a summary on greed, pride, wrath, lust, in a sense. He did a lot on sloth because sloth is what's called very long, if you will. And he basically did all of it. Well, most of it. He didn't do all of it, of course, but he did most of it. So if you really want to know about the thing, you just search up Ika Donut. This guy. He does good works. Now, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys then. See you. Was just informed that this is actually Gluttony if Subra. You should not watch this if you did not watch half of Arc 6, which is like one of the newer ones. Arc 6 finished, and now we're in Arc 7. So yeah, you should not watch this if you didn't watch Arc 6, and I don't even know what this is. And what's called. And when it comes to the community, we consider ReZero, the original, to be considered the, what's it called? Envy if, in a sense. So, like, they consider that envy. So we have all the 7 sins, in a sense. And also we have something interesting. We have, what you call it, a spin-off of where people's considering it's Pandoria, for what Pandoria is. I think she's Vanglority or something like that. People think it's hers. It's like a Vangloria F story. It's basically Subra and the gang going to school. So yeah, that's currently all the what's it called ReZero content. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly that the current one is the school one or a continuation of the school one. So yeah, thanks guys for watching and I'll see you guys soon.